Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Hope you're all doing well and doing great. Today we are back with another video and with another topic. And today we are going to discuss about some uses and storage of carbohydrates, mineral nutrients and minerals in plants, and what are the important minerals that we have to study, and some experimental techniques that how to investigate the need for chlorophyll, light, and carbon dioxide. And last but not the least, we're going to discuss some limiting factors that is required for or that affect the rate of photosynthesis. So let's, without wasting any time, let's jump into the video. Firstly, we're going to see what are the uses of carbohydrates. But before going to start about the carbohydrates, we must understand that carbohydrates are basically the simple sugars. They are the hydrates of carbon, and they are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. If you remember yesterday's video, and if you remember the yesterday equation of photosynthesis, you're gonna learn that you must understand that this glucose is basically a carbohydrate, and it is composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. As I said, that the carbohydrate is composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So we can classify carbohydrates into three different categories. One is called as monosaccharide, one is called as disaccharide, and one is called as polysaccharide. You have already learned in the chapter biomolecules. So if we can just revise them in a second, we can say that the monosaccharides are the sugars with single carbon ring are called as monosaccharides. Example can be glucose, fructose, and galactose. All those sugar which contain single carbon ring. And whereas the disaccharides are the sugar which contain two carbon ring, in which we can say maltose, sucrose, and fructose. Maltose is formed by the combination of when glucose combined with the glucose, and sucrose is formed by the combination of when glucose combined with the fructose. Make sure to make notes of it. And galactose is formed when glucose combined with the galactose. Lactose sugar is formed, but the maltose, sucrose, and lactose is a disaccharide. Whereas if we consider the polysaccharide, we can say that the many glucose molecule combine to form polysaccharide. And we have to learn that how carbohydrate act as a storage or uses and storage of carbohydrates. So the first use of carbohydrate are the glucoses. The first use of glucoses, it act as a energy. It act as an energy source, or it provide energy to the plant, or it provide energy to the animal. When we eat carbohydrate, when we eat sugar, we get energy from it. The other usage of carbohydrate is basically it is a plant. The plant store their food in the form of starch. Many glucose units combine to form and store their food in the form of starch. Like plant make glucose, and this glucose is utilized by the plant. They eat this and make their food further, and they store their food in the form of starch basically. And this starch can be eaten and then utilized by the animals as well. So, but animals store their food in the form of glycogen. The extra glucose is stored in the liver in the form of glycogen. But right now we are just studying about the carbohydrate in the usage. So let me show you as well. So here you go. If you're going to study your book, that the glucose is used basically. Glucose is used as a starch in the form of starch. The starch is the reserve food material of plant and animals. Glucose is also many glucose unit combined to form cellulose. Cellulose is a polysaccharide. It means it's also carbohydrate. It is a form of a carbohydrate. So, and the plant cell wall is made by cellulose, and cell wall is basically the major major organ of a plant cell, because it maintains shape of the plant. It protect the plant from busting, and it maintain turgor pressure, and there are so many other uses of the cell wall. So plants stay upright just because of the cell wall. So this cellulose is made by glucose, many glucose unit. So there is another usage of this glucose, that this plant store their food in the form of sucrose as well. And sucrose is the combination of sucrose is a sugar that is also present in the fruits as well. As I told you that it is a combination of glucose and fructose. So the plants store their food in the form of sucrose. So we have learned the uses of glucose. That glucose is used as energy storage. It is used to make plant cell wall, and it is used in the respiration, and to release in the respiration it releases the energy by the breaking of CH bond. And it also plant transported. Phloem is basically there are the two tissues in the plant cell. One is xylem and one is phloem. So phloem transport the plant food in other parts of the plant, and the plant transport the food to other part of the plant in the form of sucrose. So hopefully you get it. And now the other thing that we have to discuss in this unit is basically the mineral nutrients. There are the two major mineral nutrients that we have, minor mineral nutrients that we have to discuss in this unit. One is called as magnesium and one is called as nitrogen. Basically magnesium, if we're going to study the role of magnesium help in the formation of chlorophyll. If we just revise the yesterday topic, we're gonna see that here you're gonna see that we have discussed about that this is the plant and the anatomy of the leaf, that this one is the cuticle, this is the upper epidermis, then the palisade mesophyll, then spongy mesophyll, and then lower epidermis. And we said that the more amount of chloroplast is present in the palisade mesophyll. Sometime in a paper of Cambridge, they ask you what type of cell is this and what is the structure of palisade mesophyll. So there are so many chloroplast in the palisade mesophyll cell. They also contain mitochondria, nucleus, and some ribosomes, an endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum in which ribosomes are attached on which, and cell wall and cell membrane. So the thing is that how the carbon dioxide is diffuses and how oxygen is releases. Here's the pathway of how carbon dioxide is diffuses. As I said, that the stomata is involved, as the major function of the stomata is basically in the is involved in the gaseous exchange. They're the guard cell in between these stomatas. The first thing first, that the large amount of carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere or in the environment or in the surrounding. It will get into the leaf cell by stomata. Through stomata, it will enter, the carbon dioxide will enter, and it will diffuses through cell wall and cell membrane. It will diffuses into the leaf through open stomata into the air spaces in the spongy mesophyll cell, and then it will enter through cell wall or cell membrane into the palisade mesophyll cell. So diffuses, here the diffuses mean the diffusion from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. As we said that the higher concentration is present in the atmosphere and lower concentration is present in the leaf. So it will diffuses into the spongy mesophyll, and then it will diffuses to the palisade mesophyll cells, and then it will reaches to the chloroplast and where chlorophyll is present. Right now we are talking about the chlorophyll. So magnesium is basically a mineral which is present in the salt. Also it helps in the soil as well as available in the soils. It helps in the formation of chlorophyll. And if there is a deficiency of chlorophyll, or if there is a deficiency of magnesium, then the yellowing of leaves, that disease is called as chlorosis, will occur. अगर magnesium deficiency होती है तो उसके result में plant leaves जो हैं वो yellow होना शुरू हो जाते हैं, जिसको हम chlorosis का नाम देते हैं. And the other mineral nutrient that is required for the plant growth, and is basically called as nitrogen. And nitrogen is not, plant cannot use nitrogen directly. They will absorb the nitrogen in the form of nitrates or nitrites. NO3 या NO4 की फॉर्म में प्लांट जो है वो नाइट्रोजन को absorb कर सकते हैं. They will, what plant gonna do, the glucose gonna react with the nitrogen and it will form then amino acids. अगर आप अमाइनो एसिड का या प्रोटीन का फॉर्मूला देखें तो उसके अंदर एक अमाइनो ग्रुप होता है और एक कार्बोक्सिलिक ग्रुप होता है. तो दैट इज बिकॉज कि ग्लूकोज बेसिकली रिएक्ट करता है उस अमाइनो ग्रुप के साथ, उस उन नाइट्रेट्स के साथ, एंड दैट नाइट्रेट व्हेन कंबाइन विद द ग्लूकोज, देन they will produce amino acid, and smaller units of amino acid will combine to form protein. So glucose also play an important role, and nitrogen also play an important role in the formation of protein synthesis. Protein synthesis की formation में nitrogen involved होता है, and if there is deficiency of nitrogen, then there will be the stunted growth stop हो जाएगी, या फिर wilting हो जाएगी. Wilting कहते हैं मुरझा जाने को, leaves जो हैं वो मुरझाना शुरू कर देंगे. Or we can also code here that the yellowing of leaves will occur. So there are some other mineral nutrients that are present in the plant. Let's discuss about their function. Here we go, that the phosphate is basically helping in making cell membrane and needed for the respiration and plant growth. And if there is a deficiency of phosphate, then there will be the poor root growth or the stunted root growth. And potassium is also involved in the helping in the formation of enzymes and needed for the respiration and photosynthesis process. And if there is the deficiency of potassium, then there will be the leaf will turn yellow. Whereas the major thing that you must have to memorize is basically the role of magnesium and the role of nitrates. The element is basically nitrogen, and nitrate role is they are involved in the formation of amino acid, and that amino acid will combine to form protein. So we can say that they are involved in the formation of protein, or in the synthesis of protein, and they are also needed for the cell growth. And whereas the role of magnesium is to help in the formation of chlorophyll. And if there is a deficiency of nitrate or nitrogen, then there will be the stunted growth of the plant, that the plant growth will be stopped. And if there is a deficiency of magnesium, then the chlorosis or the leaf will turn yellow, or leaf will start wilting. So this was about the mineral nutrients. Then we will discuss in this chapter that how to investigate the need for chlorophyll, light, and carbon dioxide. Where we're gonna do some tests, and we're gonna see how these tests can be performed in the lab, or if there is a paper, if question come in the paper, how you can solve this question. So the next thing is that investigate the need for chlorophyll, light and carbon dioxide. We're gonna de-starch the plant, and then we're gonna test it in the dip the plant into the ethanol and boil it, and then we're gonna soften it, and then we're gonna put and dip the plant into the our leaf into the iodine solution. All these process, firstly we're going to de-starch the plant. So major thing to learn is how to de-starch a plant. So let's discuss from a picture. So here you're going to see that how we're going to de-starch a plant. Firstly we're going to put there is a Bunsen burner or a spirit lamp, and then we put a beaker, and in a beaker we're going to put that leaf and boil. If you don't want to boil, then don't boil. Put a testing tube, and in the testing tube put ethanol, add some ethanol in the testing tube, and then add that leaf in this testing tube where you have added the ethanol. Ethanol just decolorize the leaf, it will change the color of the leaf. ethanol की वजह से decolorization यानी कि chlorophyll जो है वो remove होना शुरू हो जाता है. ethanol is an alcohol, so it will decolorize that leaf part. We're going to boil that leaf for 5 to 10 minutes, and what we're going to do after boiling, we're going to take that leaf out and we're going to put it in a beaker, and in a boiling water we're going to put that leaf in a boiling water, and we're going to put it for 2 to 3 minutes just to soften the leaf, and then we're going to take out that leaf and put it in a petri dish. And after putting it in a petri dish, we're gonna dip it in a iodine solution. If the leaf turns blue black, then that means the starch is present, and if the leaf turns ऑरेंज ब्राउन, दैट मींस द स्टार्च इज एब्सेंट. इन सिंपल वर्ड्स हमने क्या कहा कि हमने एक ऐसा बीकर लिया जिसके अंदर हमने वाटर ऐड किया, उस वाटर के नीचे हमने जो है वो बंसन बर्नर के थ्रू आर्क स्पिरिट लैम्प चलाया, या फिर बंसन बर्नर के थ्रू हमने उसको इग्नाइट किया. वंस वी गोना इग्नाइट दैट, हमने क्या किया कि उसके अंदर लीफ डाला और लीफ के साथ उसको थोड़ी देर के लिए बॉईल किया. अदरवाइज अगर आप इस स्टेप को स्किप भी करना चाहिए, यू कैन स्किप दैट. आप क्या करें, टेस्ट ट्यूब लें, उस टेस्ट ट्यूब के अंदर एथेनॉल ऐड करें और एथेनॉल के साथ उस लीफ को आप उस टेस्ट ट्यूब के अंदर डाल दें और उसको वाटर बाथ के अंदर रख दें और उसको बॉयल होने दें. और बॉयल होने के बाद जब वो एथेनॉल क्या करेगा कि उस लीफ को डीकलराइज कर देगा. उसके रिजल्ट में उस लीफ को फोर्सअप की मदद से आप टेक आउट करें, बाहर निकालें, और उसके बाद उसको दोबारा से बॉइलिंग वाटर के अंदर या कोल्ड वाटर के अंदर या बॉयल वाटर के अंदर 2 से 3 मिनट के लिए रखें ताकि लीफ जो है वो थोड़ा सॉफ्ट हो जाए. वंस इट गोना बी सॉफ्टन, आपने क्या करना है, एक पेट्री डिश लेनी है या कोई भी ऐसी प्लेट लेनी है या व्हाइट टाइल लेनी है जिसके ऊपर आपने लीफ रखना है, और आपने उसके पेट्री डिश ले लें. दैट्स मच बेटर देन यू गोना ऐड आयोडीन सॉल्यूशन, और आपने उस लीफ को डिप कर देना है. एक लीफ को ऐसा कंट्रोल रखना है. कंट्रोल इसलिए रखते हैं हम लीफ को कि आप कंपेयर कर सकें, एंड देन वंस द लीफ विल start changing its color, if it turns blue black due to the iodine solution, that means that leaf can perform, or that chlorophyll is important, or the starch is present in that leaf, and this leaf can perform the process of photosynthesis. क्योंकि chlorophyll की मदद से ही प्लांट फोटोसिंथेसिस का फिनोमेना परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, और अगर उस लीफ के अंदर स्टार्च मौजूद है तो दैट मीन उसने क्लोरोफिल की मदद से फोटोसिंथेसिस का फिनोमेना परफॉर्म किया है. और अगर उसका कलर ब्राउन हो गया है या ऑरेंज ब्राउन या कोई और कलर हो गया है, डिकलराइज रहा है, like it doesn't turn into the blue black, then that means that leaf, there is no accumulation of chlorophyll, and that leaf is not performing any sort of photosynthesis. So hopefully you get it. You have to restart the plant for the 3 processes for all these experiment, like for the for testing, to investigate, or to check the light, or to check the carbon dioxide, or to check the carbon dioxide के साथ साथ light और temperature. अब लाइट के लिए भी सेम सीन है. आपने प्लांट को डिस्टार्च किया, और डिस्टार्च करने के बाद आपने उसको एक्सपोज किया डार्कनेस के अंदर 24 आवर्स के लिए. देन आपने क्या किया कि आपने जो अपना लीफ था, 2 पॉटेड प्लांट्स ले लिए, या फिर आपने एक्सपेरिमेंट के लिए आपने उसी डिस्चार्जिंग प्लांट को या पॉट को आपने क्या किया, आपने पार्शली कवर्ड किया एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल के साथ, और जो बाकी हिस्सा था उस लीफ का उसको एक्सपोज कर दिया सनलाइट में, एंड फॉर अ डे, 1 दिन के लिए. वंस यू एक्सपोज दैट डिस्चार्जिंग पॉटेड लीफ into the and expose that into the sunlight, what's going to happen, that you just expose it for a day and then you're going to remove it from the sunlight. आपने उसको sunlight से remove किया, और उसके बाद आपने उसको aluminium foil जो है उससे हटाकर आपने उस लीफ के ऊपर आयोडीन ड्रॉप्स डाले, और आपने ऑब्जर्व किया कि जिस पे एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल थी उसका कलर जो है वो ऑरेंज ब्राउन रहा, और जो एरिया जो है वो कवर्ड नहीं था, जो सनलाइट के सामने एक्सपोज था, उसका कलर जो है वो ब्लू ब्लैक हो गया. And it proves that the light is also necessary for the process of photosynthesis. In simple words, what they're going to do, they just start, before starting the experiment, The plants need to be de-starched by placing a dark cupboard for 24 hours to ensure that any starch present in the leaf will be used up and will not affect the result of the experiment. ये सिर्फ ये प्रूव करने के लिए कि कोई भी स्टार्च अगर उस लीफ के अंदर मौजूद है तो वो उसको अफेक्ट नहीं करेगा उस एक्सपेरिमेंट को, इसलिए आपने सबसे पहले उसको डिस्टार्च किया और उसको अंधेरे में रखा 24 घंटे के लिए। अब आपने उस डिस्टार्चिंग वाले पौधे को या फिर लीफ को कवर किया एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल के साथ, और एल्यूमिनियम या ब्लैक चार्ट के साथ आपने उस लीफ को कवर कर दिया। एंड वंस यू गोना कवर इट, आपने क्या किया कि उसको थोड़ी देर आपने उसको 24 आवर्स के लिए एक्सपोज करवा दिया सनलाइट में। And after a day, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put that leaf into a white tile and add iodine solution. And if it turns blue black, तो that means कि उसके अंदर स्टार्च मौजूद है और वो क्लोरोफिल का फिनोमेना परफॉर्म कर रहा है और लाइट उसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट थी for the process of photosynthesis। और अगर जो है वो ऑरेंज ब्राउन रहा तो that means light is not an important factor for the process of photosynthesis। Let me show you through a diagram as well। Here you can see that you just covered that leaf with the black chart and expose it to the sunlight, and then you add iodine solution, and if it turns, जो कलर एक्सपोज था, जो लीफ का पार्ट जो एक्सपोज था सनलाइट में, वो ब्लू ब्लैक हो गया, और जो एक्सपोज जो एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल के साथ कवर था उसका कलर जो है वो नहीं चेंज हुआ, तो दैट मींस दिस लीफ पार्ट इज नॉट लाइट। दिस प्रूव्स दैट द लाइट इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोसेस फॉर द फोटोसिंथेसिस। द नेक्स्ट इज बेसिकली द इन्वेस्टिगेशन फॉर द नीड ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड। आपने दो प्लांट्स लिए और उन प्लांट्स को आपने बेल जार के अंदर रखा, एंड व्हाट यू गोना डू, यू गोना विद वन पार्ट यू जस्ट टेक a solution of sodium, put a solution of sodium hydroxide solution ताकि वो absorb कर सके CO2 को, जबकि अपने दूसरे potted plant के साथ वाटर सोल्यूशन को रखा है। उसके रिजल्ट में क्या हुआ कि जो प्लांट जो था जिसके साथ सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड थी उसने CO2 को एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया, और जिसके रिजल्ट में जब आपने उसको आयोडीन टेस्ट के थ्रू टेस्ट किया तो इस प्लांट का कलर ऑरेंज ब्राउन रहा, जबकि इस प्लांट को जब आपने टेस्ट किया ये सिर्फ वाटर के साथ, वाटर सोल्यूशन के साथ पड़ा था, तो दैट मींस इट डज नॉट अब्जॉर्ब द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, इट विल जस्ट द प्लांट इनहेल कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड प्रोड्यूस डू द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस। तो उसके रिजल्ट में इसका कलर जो है, द प्लांट विद द कंट्रोल प्लांट इज बेसिकली टर्न्स ब्लू ब्लैक, and the leaf of the control plant turns blue black, and that means this will perform the process of photosynthesis। The carbon dioxide is essential for the process of photosynthesis। अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एब्जॉर्ब हो जाए तो प्लांट्स को कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नहीं मिलेगी, तो प्लांट्स फोटोसिंथेसिस का फिनोमेना परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकेंगे। हमें पता तो इस चीज का है, लेकिन हमें प्रूव करना था, तो प्रूव करने के लिए वी जस्ट पुट अ potted plant with the sodium hydroxide and one potted plant with the water only, and that contained the water solution will absorb the plant will absorb the carbon dioxide, and then it will perform the process of photosynthesis। Whereas the plant with the sodium hydroxide solution, the sodium hydroxide will absorb the carbon dioxide, and plant didn't get any carbon dioxide, that why its color doesn't change when we test it with the iodine solution। Hopefully you get it, and then we have to discuss in this lesson. Then lastly, we have to discuss about the limiting factor, the factor that affect the rate of photosynthesis। So there are the three major factors that we have to study. One is light, one is temperature, and one is carbon dioxide concentration। As you can see the graph of the temperature, this phenomenon is same as we have studied in the enzyme chapter, that if we increase the temperature, the rate of photosynthesis will also increases, but till the optimum temperature। The enzyme will work best at optimum temperature, so it will increases the rate of photosynthesis। But if we increase above the optimum temperature, the enzyme become to denature, and the rate of photosynthesis will also decreases। Whereas same is the case with the light intensity। If we increases the light intensity, or if we provide more sunlight to the plant, the rate of photosynthesis will also increases, but at a certain point, at a constant point। After that, the rate of photosynthesis will not affect if we increase the light intensity as well। Why is that so? Because जितने क्लोरोफिल मॉलिक्यूल उस प्लांट के अंदर मौजूद हैं, उन्होंने तब तक फोटोसिंथेसिस का फिनोमेना परफॉर्म करना है। ड्यूरिंग नाइट टाइम देयर इज नो प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस विल अकर, सो दैट्स व्हाई अब लाइट इंटेंसिटी अगर आप प्रोवाइड भी करते रहेंगे तो वो फोटोसिंथेसिस का फिनोमेना इतनी फास्टली जो है वो परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकेंगे। सेम इज द केस विद द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कंसंट्रेशन, दैट इट विल स्टॉप the carbon dioxide it will speed up the carbon dioxide concentration at a certain point, but it will stay constant after some limit। So this is basically about the limiting factor of photosynthesis, that it will increase, the limiting factor will increase at a certain point, but after a certain point it will start decreasing or it will become denatured। Last but not the least is the topic of basically the opening and closing of stomata। Okay, lastly the point is during the daytime the stomata will open, this is the guard cell, and in between this opening or minute pore is called as stomata। So during the daytime the stomata will open, whereas during the night the stomata will close। There is a theory about the pressure flow theory, that in the epidermal cell there is an accumulation of potassium ions, and during the daytime what will happen, these potassium ions will diffuses into the stomata, so the water will move inside the guard cell and they become turgid. By osmosis, water will also move. But what happens during the night time? During the night time there is no process of photosynthesis will occur, and the potassium ion will diffuse out back into the epidermal cell, and the water will also move out of the cell, so by osmosis, and the guard cell become flaccid. बेसिकली है क्या कि गार्ड सेल क्या होते हैं कि दिन के वक्त स्टोमेटा ओपन होता है जबकि रात के वक्त स्टोमेटा क्लोज होता है। अब दिन के वक्त जब स्टोमेटा ओपन होता है तो उसको होता क्या है कि एपिडर्मल सेल, जो लोअर एपिडर्मल सेल्स होते हैं, जो गार्ड सेल के साथ जो सेल्स होते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द लोअर एपिडर्मल सेल, जिसके दरमियान में गार्ड सेल्स मौजूद होते हैं। ठीक है, दे एक्ट एज अ गार्ड, ठीक है, जो स्टोमेटा को प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करते हैं। अब स्टोमेटा क्या है, ये गैसेस एक्सचेंज के लिए हेल्प आउट करता है, ट्रांसपरेशन के प्रोसेस में भी इसी ने हेल्प आउट करना है, इसी के थ्रू गैसेस जो है वो इनहेल और एक्सहेल होंगी, इसी के थ्रू ट्रांसपरेशन कम होगा। तो दिन के वक्त क्या होता है कि जब फोटोसिंथेसिस का प्रोसेस हो रहा होता है, द फोटोसिंथेसिस विल अकर, तो पोटेशियम आयन एपिडर्मल सेल से डिफ्यूज आउट होना शुरू हो जाता है, मतलब फ्रॉम हायर कंसंट्रेशन टू लो कंसंट्रेशन की तरफ मूव करना शुरू कर देते हैं, वो गार्ड सेल के अंदर एक्युमुलेट होना शुरू हो जाते हैं, ड्यू टू विच द वाटर विल आल्सो मूव थ्रू बाय ऑस्मोसिस, और वाटर भी जिसकी वजह से ऑस्मोसिस की पाथवे को यूज करते हुए गार्ड सेल के अंदर एक्युमुलेट होना शुरू हो जाते हैं और गार्ड सेल टर्जिट हो जाते हैं, यानी कि अब उनका टर्गर प्रेशर मेंटेन हो गया। रात के वक्त क्या होता है कि स्टोमेटा क्लोज क्यों हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि ड्यूरिंग द नाइट टाइम द फोटोसिंथेसिस विल नॉट अकर, द ओनली रेस्पिरेशन प्रोसेस विल अकर। अब रात के वक्त जो है वो जब फोटोसिंथेसिस का प्रोसेस नहीं हो रहा था, तो जो पोटेशियम आयंस वहां पर एक्यूमुलेट थे वो दोबारा से डिफ्यूज आउट होकर एपिडर्मल सेल की तरफ मूव आउट कर देते हैं, जिसके रिजल्ट में जो पानी भी होता है, वाटर विल आल्सो डिफ्यूजेस आउट बाय ऑस्मोसिस, और उसके रिजल्ट में अब गार्ड सेल दोबारा से फ्लैसिड हो जाएंगे, जस्ट लाइक अ बैलून। अगर आप बैलून के अंदर हवा भरें या पानी भरें और बैलून जो है वो बिल्कुल टर्जिट हो जाएगा, और उसके बाद अगर उससे पानी निकाल दें तो दैट बिकम फ्लैसिड, बिल्कुल ऐसे पिचका हुआ। सो दिस इज द थ्योरी, दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ प्रेशर फ्लो थ्योरी, दैट्स देयर इज अ थ्योरी बिटवीन द स्टोमेटा, ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ स्टोमेटा, इसका भी फोटोसिंथेसिस के साथ जो है वो लिंक है। And lastly, we have to discuss about if there is a diagram, they have given the diagram and they ask for the labeling of the or they ask in the MCQs कि स्टोमेटा के अंदर या गार्ड सेल के अंदर क्या क्या चीजें मौजूद होती हैं। So these small dots are basically the chloroplast, and this yellow portion is basically called as the vacuole. Vacuole is basically the storage of food and water, and this pink shaded is basically the nucleus, and there is the cell wall and cell membrane as well as and the lastly is basically the fifth one is basically the cell wall. So hopefully you have understood the entire topic. If there is any confusion, do let me know. I will catch you in the next video, and please make sure to comment that what you have learnt, or is there any topic that is still confusing for you. So make sure to write it in the comment section. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.